Welcome to ADF-SPORTS. All right, let's do this. We're back. It feels good. After was this like a 2-month hiatus? Yeah, I want to say a 2-month, full-month hiatus. March 31st was the last published episode, which was really recorded around this time, the 28th or the 27th of that month, and it is now May 28th, so yeah, a full 2-month hiatus from a podcast, and it kind of sucks because I destroyed all the momentum we had going here. I'm going to keep this brief and sort of explain what this is going to be. This is just the catch-up pod. We're basically going to lay out the plans for what the ADF media product is going to be, and also kind of just talk some UFC, because the UFC is sort of become the bread and butter of what we do right now. Just the UFC content has done much better than I expected, and it feels good that that's the case, because I think we went polarizing in the most previous episode, which was actually a 326 prediction, where we were gung-ho on Raul and gung-ho, and at least I wouldn't say I was gung-ho on Charles O, but I proclaimed it out there that this Max Holloway should not have been a massive favorite in that fight, and it caused a lot of attention. A lot of people saved that post to come back to it, and Charles Oliveira gets it done. Just wanted to, defend my guy Do Bronx. People think he's fallen off a cliff, and it just wasn't true. So some things we missed. We missed a really crappy fight night. That Jillian Robertson got a win, and then Emmett just gets clapped right after. Not really much to talk about there. Fili racks up another loss, which he's already irrelevant. Movzar gets another win against Lerone Murphy, which is actually a huge win for Movzar, but a win that we were talking about this card a little bit in our reaction episode to the Charles Oliveira Holloway card, 326. And we kind of said, watch out for Movzar. I know George is not here with us, but George, we'll see what he has to say about Movzar. I'm going to bring him up in our next show, which we're going to record on hopefully Monday or Tuesday. So Izzy Pfeiffer, this is probably the biggest news, honestly, of the entire show that we really missed, is that Izzy needs to hang it up. He's having the Spidey Silva syndrome, where this was, Izzy replaced Anderson Silva as the middleweight to beat, and all of a sudden, he's just, at 36 years old, is too high in age to fight how he used to fight. The way he's on a 4-fight lose streak, and not only that, 3 of the last 4 of those fights, he got finished. Dricus du Plessis choked him out, Imavov knocked him out, Pfeiffer knocked him out. So off back-to-back knockouts too, which we know getting knocked out definitely dings up your longevity a lot more than losing in a decision. Pereira knocked him out, and then he knocked out Pereira, which was crazy. And then the 4 losses, he just hasn't been able to do it. And I think he needs to hang it up, because losing to Pfeiffer, this was a big step down from what he was fighting before. At first, it was like, okay, Strickland, du Plessis, and we knew Nasruddin was filthy. He is very hated because he beat Izzy, but at least there was that excuse of all right, he lost to 3 elite fighters, but Pfeiffer, who's just a purebred striker. I mean, Izzy has to win that fight. Izzy's supposed to be the guy who beats strikers, let alone beats a guy who, in Pfeiffer, who very much is a lot of power, but I don't know if he's ever going to be holding a belt. So, yeah, really tough for Izzy. Tough spot for Izzy fans. As a Silva fan, I really do. I get it, man. I held this hope for Silva for way too long, and I just got heartbroken and then heartbroken again. He needs to hang it up. I'm telling you, it's it's the best thing he could do for himself. And I know it's horrible to say, but I think it's true. I think Izzy needs to hang it up here and now. Solidify yourself as arguably the middleweight GOAT. He's definitely up there. Sucks for Izzy. It really does. So, what else are we missing here? That's right. Moicano had a fight night and got a sub against Chris Duncan, which, I mean, was cool to watch. It's always fun betting on a Manny Moicano sub. And sometimes they're kind of juicers when they hit. It's definitely something I'm going to look into in his next fight. Maybe taking that Manny Moicano sub if it's not, if it's like plus 300 or plus 400, that range, might be worth it. Olberg knocking out Yuri. That is kind of the shockwave news. We're still off. I almost forgot this fight happened, believe it or not, and that it was over a month ago. Good for Olberg. This is one where it's weird. It was like the first, Yuri is just not a good fighter. His overall skill, you could tell he lacks fundamentals, and he definitely, his unorthodox style just did not come out in this fight at all. And when that happens, you can really see some flaws there. So Yuri's going to have to bounce back. He's so explosive. He has a crap ton of power, and I'm expecting him to string a few knockouts, especially if they give him somebody who doesn't have elite defense or countering. I think he could just rip right through him. So we'll see what happens to Yuri. Definitely wants to be on slide prevention. You want to win your next one, especially if you just get the finish, bang the rust right back off, jump right back into the main the mix with trying to get another title shot. We'll see if Olberg's still holding on to that light heavyweight belt. No idea. It was pretty crazy it's pretty crazy that Olberg was able to beat him. Okay. There was a Burns fight night. Burns is done. Burns is cooked. I mean, that's really it. Next thing, Aljo snuck in that win in there. I don't really need to talk about that either, honestly. JDM Prates. Oh, this is a huge fight night. This should have been on a main event. I don't know why it wasn't. Prates knocks out JDM, showing you that Prates is actually, there's a lot of ways to think of Prates. He is very, very good. He is sort of this unstoppable man on his feet, or not completely unstoppable because, but he's really up there. The only guys who are really fighting at Prates' level is Venom Page, Ian Gary, Ilia Topuria, Joshua Van, guys with serious striking capabilities. And to knock out JDM too, which JDM has one avenue to win, didn't happen. Prates gets it done with a KO, and George is a huge Prates guy. I love Prates too. But George is going to be singing his praises. We'll definitely break this one down because I also want to break down Killian Salakild. Not 100% sure how to say Killian's last name still. I'm going to make sure I get that ironed out for the next ep. Killian's a beast, man. This guy kind of is a prospect who came out of nowhere, is how I'd put him. I did not see this guy come from Austria. He's only Australia. He's only 26 years old too. So he has a lot of time to get even better. More training, more experience against high-level opponents. And Beneil got smoked. 62.5% striking is pretty crazy. 12 for 19 on significant strikes too. And Beneil had to panic wrestle his way out. He couldn't even survive on the feed. So fantastic for Killian. I'm excited. I'm actually, he's so exciting to watch. I think everybody's caught on to him, unfortunately. So he's definitely not a underrated guy or anything. He's seen before. And then the craziest shit ever, in all honesty, Sean Strickland is the middleweight champ. Defeats Khamzat, which Khamzat was on a run to become the middleweight GOAT, we'll even say. Khamzat was genuinely on a run. If he was able to beat through everybody, to be in that conversation, and Sean Strickland said, hell no. And now we're kind of in this cycle of doom where we're going to see, Khamzat seems to want to, or has already left the division, so at least it seems that way, unless he gets his rematch with Strickland. We'll see if DDP can win the belt back. DDP Strickland has to happen, which is pretty crazy. And then there's a lot of people waiting in the wings in middleweight. Middleweight's insane, and now that Izzy's spot is also up, open, anything's possible in middleweight right now. So middleweight's probably the most exciting division in the entire sport. And then Joshua Van, who I hinted about earlier. He's Joshua Van. He's insane. His striking is unbelievable. His boxing is the best thing I've seen since Prime Holloway. Genuinely. I'll keep saying it. Joshua Van's boxing is ridiculous. You watch this kid box, you go, holy effing cow. You just can't. Some of the punches he throws hit really hard. They're insanely accurate, and their speed's crazy. He hit 190 for 269. That's almost 71% of his punches landed. It's wild. 131 for 209 on significant strikes. And he even slipped in a takedown. Tatsuo Taira shot 21 times for a 38% clip. Takedown percentage, 8 for 21. And Joshua Van still beat his head in like he was a training dummy. Joshua Van went crazy. Tatsuo Taira went 100 for 199. So Van was just throwing counterpunch, jab, hook, everything. Absolutely everything. Oh, he also tried to sub him twice, and that was before he knocked him out cold. Joshua Van is so impressive, and it's crazy because he has to fight a guy in Pantoja who is really, really deadly. But the thing is that I'm starting to think Joshua Van's boxing is so good, he might be able to knock out Pantoja. I don't know yet, but I know George is already on him. I've been on the fence whether he could beat Pantoja. I've been in the Pantoja camp. I might switch. Genuinely, I might switch. So we'll see. That fight needs to happen. That is probably that's the best fight. That's the fight to look forward to. Joshua Van versus Pantoja. Give me it. Flyweight. Pantoja's revenge match after he loses the belt due to injury against Joshua Van in a fight that looked like a nail biter, even though it was only like a minute long or 2 minutes long, whatever it was. Give me that fight. And that's where we leave off. We have a fight night in 2 days, which our next video will be a reaction to. And then the Allen versus Costa thing, honestly, the biggest headline of that is that Wellmaker gets his second loss against Juan Diaz. I don't even care that Arnold Allen won. I don't. Featherweight, do what you want to do, Arnold Allen. Beat Melchizedek Costa. But that's it. So now we're going to talk about a little bit of future plans. Kind of started us off with the hint there that we're going to be recording another podcast episode reacting to the Song Yadong fight night, which Song Figgy. It's in the middle of the freaking day, because of course it is. It's like the middle of the morning. But I want Song Yadong to get a little bit of a revenge match. He should beat Figgy. I'm just going to put it out there. I think Song Yadong right now is better than Figgy. But maybe Figgy proves me wrong. He's proved me wrong a couple times now. We'll see. Zhang Min Yang's going to get another fight. I might go Song and Zhang. This is definitely in China. I think I'm going to honestly triple up on the nationals here. Go Kai Asakura, Zhang Min Yang, Song Yadong. And hope for some of that, division, national home field advantage. It's in Macau, China. Going on to some of the more business matters. Weekly podcast is the goal, and then we're going to start our NFL package. We're going to go deep diving into the NFL. It's tough doing NFL content because there is so much content to the NFL. There's just so many things. The NFL, it's everybody who knows football knows this. It's just so intricate. Every team has 1,000 storylines. How is their trenches built? Do they have the cornerback room? What's their starting quarterback situation? You can ask 25 questions to all 32 of the NFL teams. It's a bunch. And then the draft picks. And then I can go on and on. But still want to do it. Going to do as much as I can. And there's the whole college aspect, honestly. I'm more into college lately because the Jets suck. It's much easier to pay attention to all that's happening in college, and college is mayhem. We'll actually do a college video because college is fascinating. So yeah, weekly UFC is the minimum. That's going to be the core of our content. Then we're going to build some NFL. We're going to trickle it in and out. Try to do that. We'll see how that snowballs. The UFC I feel a lot more confident about just because I'm kind of in the thick of it with keeping track. It's harder but easier for me in some ways because I have to rewatch every fight, which kind of forces me to make sure I'm paying attention to every single fight. I can't watch everything live and then react to it 5 seconds later and then never see it again. I have to rewatch it, and then I have to rewind backwards and forwards, and I get to see a fight multiple times as well because I'm usually working during the UFC, and sometimes I'll have it in the corner of my eye going, but my work's pretty demanding. I can't pay attention to the UFC while working. It doesn't really work like that. Unless for some reason I'm not working, like something got, like I would love if the NBA playoffs continued into Saturday, but it doesn't even matter because that fight is at 7 a.m., but in theory, because I get out after the NBA game, so it's a whole thing. So like that would extend when my work is due, and then maybe I'd have time to check into the UFC, but that's a circumstance I've never even had happen yet. So no college football game during the winter was able to do that. Actually, I wasn't even really working on Saturdays during the week. So yeah, that's the plan. We're going to launch everything. We're going to put a lot of UFC content out there, and then obviously the socials. I'm trying to get better at the socials. The plan is to upgrade and overhaul the TikTok content. I think I kind of have an idea of a streamlined way to get high quality TikTok content out there, which is going to be an improvement from what is currently on the TikTok, which is very minimal, but our videos seem to do pretty well. They're just good talkers, and the formatting of them, although one of them, some insider stuff here, one of them got copyright struck by Paramount, which was pretty hilarious. I'm like the lowest, smallest fish in the pond, and they copyright struck me. And I think they only did it because the videos get a lot of views, which is pretty shocking. So they just tried to take it out, trying to take me down. And it sucks because it was a Kaio video too, which I love Kaio. So it sucks that they took down my Kaio video. Maybe I'll repost that somehow. So it was my opinion on Kaio's fight that he ended up winning. So gonna have to throw that one up, maybe. I don't know. And then the YouTube content. We're also going to overhaul the YouTube content. We're going to add B-roll to it. Right now, it's just the audio, like the podcast. The idea is to either get gameplay behind it based on a polling, or maybe just add B-roll to it through like editing. Like, we'll figure it out. But the plan is to get B-roll to the YouTube. But that's more longer thinking. Right now, it's going to be like get the content out, optimize the socials, and then optimize the recording sessions. Just get pods out there, get into the studio consistently, come up with ideas, build shows, and execute them. And, our content's more rambly, but it's kind of controlled chaos is like what I like to call it. Sometimes there's a little bit of a script to re-rail us back on track or to move things along because people don't realize that these things have to be pretty timely. You want to get a lot in a little amount of time, and you also want to make sense. So, but me and George just love to break down everything, especially in the UFC. He has been doing MMA now for a little bit, so he's getting that inside scoop of just being involved directly with MMA, and then also just we're UFC junkies. We watch a ton of this stuff. It's kind of a sad amount, but it's the ultimate sport. It really is. I really hope they also do a Roman Coliseum card. I don't know why they're doing the White House, honestly. I think Roman Coliseum makes way more sense than the White House. White House is kind of corny. It's going to be a shitty audience. I'm excited for the White House card for the fights, but I'm not excited for the atmosphere at all. It's going to be kind of stupid. This China atmosphere might be lit. That's it. I'm going to wrap it up. Quick, around 20 minutes. Not bad. I got a lot in this. We're just going to call this a catch-up pod and a little logistics info. This is, this is probably the most intimate show I've ever done, where it's just me explaining myself, kind of dumping my mind out of like every single fight and also the plans for the show. Been really, really, really busy lately, but we're going to keep pushing things out because there's really no excuse not to. So I hope everybody's doing good, and that's it for us.